We can hang it from the white part. Huh? This one.
Yeah. But then you have this
Line. My art is very narrative, both in printmaking and both in film. Although in the last years I'm focusing more on printmaking, and that's what there is also on the show. I was born in Israel, and so my relationship with stone throwing is a very complex relationship because we have the Intifada, the first one and the second one, and so when I started drawing figures holding stones or in the act of throwing them, I was very conflicted with that, and I was wondering why am I doing that? Why am I even interested in that? So I took a stone and I picked it up and I was looking at my hand. Once I picked it up, there's a lot of things you can do with it. You can build with it houses, or you can decide to use it and to use it as a weapon. And that moment I think is very decisive. It's a very dangerous moment also because it becomes a tool, it becomes a weapon, it becomes something that hurts, something that with an intention of hurting. And I think this is very interesting for me as a moment. And they're hanging above us, so already there's a little bit of the aspect, it's a bit menacing. And at the same time maybe a little bit empty because there's no body in it. It's not yet in animation. And it's very much like this non-thinking creature repeating itself again and again. A bit like someone going to his office, repeating the same routine. Because obviously it's a routine, the act maybe to throw a stone. Yeah, it's better. It's a bit better. That's better, I think. Needs to be lower, right? And then one in the middle. It needs to be lower like this one. And it has a bit of a rock-shaped figure here, even though it's very open still. But again, closed in all countries. So in all sides, it's very, very tight and closed in. Like one with the green, actually, in the middle. Okay. But green or without green? You like the one without the green? Maybe they stayed. No, I thought the green just to break it, but actually, and to repeat the green that we already have here. But and I started this series with the idea of recreating a stone, but not necessarily drawing a stone as a stone would look to us. So you'd look at a stone and say, oh, it looks like a stone. And that's how I'm going to make it a very realistic stone. But trying to figure out how I draw something that in the context of this situation, someone would think, oh, it reminds me of a stone. So there's always a moment of consciousness when the stone is picked up. And this realization that it becomes an object that can hurt, that can be a weapon. And this consciousness is there, and maybe these are a bit like the guardians, or maybe some sort of ethic, a moral to what's happening in the rest of the works in the show over time. And I can hang it like that.